I have an ice pack right now. This is this is how I've been looking most of the day. I want you guys to have this ability to, like, even though I have this ice pack, even though I literally had pretty much 7 days of head pain with only like 1 day or like a 1 day break, I want you guys to have this kind of freedom. And the freedom that I'm talking about is really like when your office is like right there. The freedom that I'm talking about is reaching and teaching our dyslexic kids with where it's fun for you. The freedom that I'm talking about is, oh, there's a plane going by. Maybe you could be on it with your business in an empty airport. I had a client from 2024 and she went to Argentina in October and she took her business with her. Maybe the freedom is like me right now. I've had an ice pack on my head all freaking day while watching videos to become a better business owner to help you. And it's just the freedom. It's the freedom to come on here, talk to you really quickly about the passion that I have for helping dyslexia therapists get online and become really great business owners. It's the freedom to go use the toilet when you want to. It's the freedom that your office can literally be right there. This is the kind of freedom that I really want you guys to have. It's the freedom to just sit in your sweats, even though I'm in Miami. I have all my blinds closed right now because I've just have this massive headache. My ice pack is in hand and I'm just like, whatever. I'm going to come on here. I'm going to hydrate to concentrate and hydrate to activate. There's a different level of freedom and that other people that have ever left teaching or other people that have thought about this pathway, it's not the level of freedom that you could potentially have. And I know that 6 years ago, oh my God, my head, I know that 6 years ago, this was our nightmare, right? Everyone trying to figure out online was our nightmare. It was like, this is not freedom. This is prison. I want to kind of change the scenario a little bit, okay? I'm going to stay on here as long as the Orajel, because I think something in my teeth and head is really hurting me right now. As long as the Orajel is intact, and if I can I'll just sit here on an ice pack. I don't care. I know 6 years ago, when we're in the middle of all this, online was very far from thinking about that gives us freedom. No, that gave us a nightmare. That gave us a prison, right? Except for me, I was doing webinars and that was fun for me. But for everybody else, for 6 years ago, the first person I got out of teaching was actually the person that was on the other side of the cardboard with me in my school system. Because 6 years ago, she was getting ready to start school. And my school system was very insistent on the teachers coming into the classroom, teaching, even though the students that were going to be receiving online services were at their homes. And my beautiful colleague, Jane B., said, I don't want to go back to teaching. I don't want to do that because I don't want to be exposed to sicknesses and things like that. So I just want to stay in my home. And I started working with her and I got her out of teaching by the time school started. And she was actually the one who told me, you need to get your dyslexia practitioner license. And why a lot of people might not see this as freedom is maybe you're thinking nobody wants online teaching. Maybe you're thinking, I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking. Maybe you can let me know. Because there's a different level to freedom here. There's a different level to being able to reclaim your health, your family time. Even, for example, I was working with a client and she was concerned because she's like, I can't do any more tutoring after school. It's too much. Like, I get it. You're tutoring a lot after school. You're driving all over the place. You're schlepping your stuff. I'm like, what if you did like an hour online on a Saturday morning in your pajamas? And that hour or 2 hours turned into $800 a month. Would that be worth it? And she's like, oh, you know what? That would be worth it. And then stop tutoring on a Friday. Stop providing therapy on a Friday. There is a very different feeling. And I want you guys to understand this feeling because I know you have to tutor. If you're teaching right now, drop a T in the chat. Drop a T in the chat if you are a teacher right now. Drop a T in the chat if you are a teacher right now. Because I know if you are a teacher right now that you do need to make also additional income unless you have this beautiful partner next to you taking care of every single part of your dream. And if you have that, I am so happy for you. That's not all of us, right? When I was a teacher, in my 30s, when I left 11 years ago, do the math. Yeah, that's probably why I have a headache right now. The hormones are kicking in. And 11 years ago, and I was teaching, and I remember my first paycheck was $10.35. I remember paying rent and splitting it with 2 other girls for $6.37. Hi, Kim. How are you doing, my friend? Are you teaching or are you out? T for teacher, O for out. And yeah, I had to tutor. I had to tutor all summer. And then I also, once I really got good and had my dyslexia therapy license behind me, I wound up going into Back Bay. I worked 4 days a week after my long teaching job, chugging 2 Diet Cokes by 4 o'clock and coming home at 7 o'clock at night. And yes, I needed that income to pay my rent, to pay my student loans. So if you're in this position and you're like, I have to make money. And I know that if you're teaching right now, or even if you're tutoring right now, you have to make money. And I'm here, of course, to empower you, but also to show you there is a level of freedom that comes with this that maybe we weren't thinking about 6 years ago, or maybe you were, and you've been working on that, and that's amazing. The level of freedom that comes from being really good at online so that you have access to families. Let's take if you are going through a teaching day like I've gone through for myself, if I take myself back 11 years, okay, I was, before I left teaching, so that was 2015. No, my last full year of teaching was actually 2014, because by October 2015, I had to leave. Oh my God, my head. I have to take a headache break. Okay, this is a good look, right? Well, at least the ice pack matches the sweatshirt. I didn't plan on that. Oh my God, my head hurts so much. But I'm here because I want to talk to you guys about something. If you're feeling overwhelmed already about the school year, whether that's because, oh my God, I feel so overwhelmed because I have so many things to do, or whether it's because, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed because I have so many things to do, and I still have to tutor because I don't have my Prince Charming or Charmess next to me to fund my dreams. Or, oh my gosh, I started this tutoring business and now I feel like I'm just working and doing so many lesson plans because I didn't set it up a way where I have business boundaries. I didn't set it up in a way where I have control and, I might be potentially able to make some more income. Wherever you are at in that journey, or maybe you just retired and you're like, I really do want to keep teaching reading, but I also want to travel to see my grandchildren. I also would love virtual sneezes instead of being next to a kid that's eating a marker. All of these things, it's freedom, right? Whatever your freedom is, whatever freedom means for you, even though 6 years ago we looked at online and was like, no, that's not freedom. That's a prison. I'm here to say been online since 2019. I could not think of a better way to show you guys freedom. I don't work with students anymore. I work with teachers. They're my little kids. And, you know, I will tell you, there are so many ways you could potentially leave the classroom, or so many ways you could potentially add revenue, okay? If you are a certified dyslexia practitioner, if you are a dyslexia therapist, your quickest way to freedom, whatever freedom means for you, right? If freedom means I'm going to go on a dog walk, if freedom means I'm going to travel to Europe, if freedom means, like, I remember getting on a call with Michelle, right? And it was 4 p.m. And Michelle said to me, can I drink my breakfast shake? And I said, sure, Michelle. And I said, what time zone are you in? And she said, I'm in your time zone. So at 4 p.m. Eastern, now a teacher gets to drink their breakfast shake. Now a beautiful special education teacher who is a dyslexia therapist gets to drink her breakfast shake. Why? First of all, she's asked my permission. She got to drink her breakfast shake only because she finished her school day and she didn't have access to a toilet. Like, she didn't get to use the bathroom when she wanted. So if any parents listening to this secretly, maybe you can start to understand why so many dyslexia practitioners are leaving the classroom or secretly plotting to leave the classroom, because they're not being appreciated. They're not being appreciated for the level of skill set that they bring. They're being overwhelmed and overworked to the point of, because they're showing up for your children. If any parents are watching, I don't think parents really tune into this channel. They're showing up for your children, and because they're showing up for your children, they have anxiety, they have stress, they're overworked, they're lesson planning till 10 o'clock at night. I had somebody who was actually putting her printer in her car and driving 3 hours to be with her family on the weekend, and then driving back and needed to still set up side revenue. So if you're in this place, which if you're a teacher or you're in or you're a tutor, therapist, you have to realize the level of freedom that is waiting for you by becoming online. So there's the freedom to hop off. There's a freedom to hop off a call with a family, be on for an hour. I don't do 45-minute sessions. I do an hour. And then go on your couch because you have a headache. Like, okay, I did it. I got through the lesson. And then go on your couch, put the ice pack on your head, and relax the rest of the day. Yeah, I have all my blinds down right now. A beautiful view of the ocean and the sun and the sunset. And I'm like, all the blinds are down. Look, I could turn the light, but it's going to aggravate. It usually doesn't aggravate my eyes, but today is a different day. So I've been able to work through this whole week pretty much. I only canceled classes on, it was Wednesday. I had to cancel class because Wednesday was like, it felt like a nail going through the side of my head. Today it feels like a nail going through the side of my head this day. I don't generally get head pain. I haven't had it for a while, so I'm going to have to investigate into that. But I want you guys to know how comforting it is to have a side, I don't even call it a hustle, I call it a side gig, because it's just easy, right? You can be in your hoodie, okay, and you can be in your yoga pants, and you can be online, and you can give kids access that wouldn't have access to you. And whatever freedom, I would really encourage you to take out a journal, a piece of paper, a whiteboard, whatever you want to doodle on, right? And I would encourage you to write down and say, what does freedom mean for me? If I set up online, if I set up an online business, what does freedom mean for me? Does freedom mean that I get to reclaim the joy of teaching reading? Does freedom mean that I get to be with my toddlers? Does freedom mean that I get to go shop in an empty Trader Joe's? Does freedom mean that I get to work out in between sessions? Does freedom mean that I get to cook while my kids are at school? Does freedom mean that I get to be at every extracurricular event? Does freedom mean that I get to have children because I wouldn't be able to do that as a teacher? Does freedom mean that I get to travel and work while I'm traveling? Does freedom mean that I can go to my destination wedding? Does freedom mean that I can go to a destination? I had someone who missed out on a Hawaii destination family reunion because she couldn't take those days off of school. Does freedom mean that you feel more comfortable when November and December comes and more money is going out and more money is going out and prices are still going up and you're like, wait a second, I need to somehow catch up or at least combat this kind of debt. And I understand what's going on in the economy right now. I get it. I see it. My eggs are $12 a dozen. Everything is going up. I'm living in a very crazy city where all the prices are going crazy. And I recognize that. And I recognize that for you guys. I know that my way out of fight or flight was to work with students online. And there was and I've seen my other teacher friends, so I have a headache. My other teacher friends have the same experience. They get out of fight or flight. Okay. Danny was one of the first people that got online. I can remember when we worked together in the Online Wings Academy in 2023. Her first kind of win, besides that I believe she was pregnant, her first kind of win was that it was March and the New York, New Jersey area got a snowstorm that was very unexpected. And this snowstorm, she just went right online. She's like, I'm not going to drive to today. We're going to go online. We're going to keep everybody safe. All of a sudden, she's online. So if you're thinking, oh, and you're in that wintry world, well, online gives you access to that where you don't have to drive around in the snow, or a family doesn't have to come to you in the snow, or you can have virtual sneezes. So I encourage you to think about, like, is it worth learning this new skill? Is it worth learning this new skill? Right now, you can get into become an elite online expert, join a global group of women that want to reach and teach our 1 in 5. Stand in our, not just business shoes, but also the shoes of, can we do this with less tech? Can we do this without overwhelming families and kids? Can we do this by replicating the in-person experience? Can we do this by using the joy that we have when we work with a child in person? Can we do the same thing? Because that's what's best for the child and that's what's best for you. And the answer is yeah. And you can keep it really simple. And honestly, I just sent out an email to Candy from the Instruction Hub. Thanks, Candy, where I broke down exactly what I'll be going through when we actually go through these trainings in September. If you're saying, Michelle, you know what? I'm hella busy in September. Why would I do this? I just started the school year. Are you crazy? First of all, you just have to show up at night for 60 minutes. That's it. It's almost like watching a TV show, right? If you don't want to show up for yourself in the group at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday at 60 minutes and invest in yourself for $9.97, well, you don't have to show up for yourself. You can watch the recordings, okay? Do you want me to go through the syllabus? I know teachers love syllabus, so I'm going to go through the syllabus, okay? Week 1, we create your Reach and Teach office space. So why do I talk about this? Because I think when people were setting up for the pandemic, I see people with these big space stations. You don't need that. You need a laptop that preferably is a touchscreen. You need a wooden block and you need a document camera, and you need to keep it super, super simple. So I'm going to teach you how in week 1 to set up your Reach and Teach office space. all of the things that I use for online dyslexia therapy are not on apps in files. They are not on a website. We are not doing more tech. We're doing less tech to connect. This is what we have to master, is the video. All of my things that I use are in my TV entertainment center. It's roll and reach and roll and teach, okay? Week 2 is simplifying the student setup. You want to simplify the student setup because we're working with kids with ADHD. We're working with kids with executive functioning difficulties. We're working with families that most likely have ADHD, executive functioning difficulties. Oh my God, make this pain stop. And because of that, I'm coming on here because I can't go outside. It's not that I can't go outside right now, but like my dog pulls me. I have my blinds down. It's just going to get worse. So I'm just like, I'll just come on, talk to whoever wants to hear today. And maybe I will download it, send out to my email list. So, okay, week 2 is getting a student set up with simplicity, because maybe you're thinking, what do I do with a sand tray? Okay, abandoned. If you're online, please abandon a sand tray. Easily replaceable by rice. Much better to be next to the computer. So we go through a simplified setup. Other things, you don't want a student to have a book on their side. Why? Well, a student can say it's upstairs and it can be right next to them. You have to be really simplified with your setup. The other part of that is that when a parent is saying yes to online expertise, when a parent is saying, yes, I want that expert in my corner for the school year, they are saying yes because they are not part of the lesson, because you know how to get the student independent from day 1, which is what we do in week 4. So week 3, we do unlocking the best kept secrets of the Zoom room, and I share all the tips and strategies that you need for specific to Zoom. I do believe this is the best platform because it's where we can max out our video and really keep things simplified. Week 4 is creating independent learners, so that when you're talking to a family and you're saying, hey, I would love to work with your child online, and like, whoa, online 6 years ago, that was a nightmare. And if they didn't experience it, they've heard about it. So we have to get them to a point where they know that biggest fear that they have, which is I have to cycle in and out, that they know, no, we create independent learners from day 1. We have a process, we have a system so that a student becomes independent from day 1. That's what a family is looking for. Week 5 is actually how to onboard a client and get them hooked from day 1. Everything from a get to know you game to getting paid for an assessment in advance and making sure that that family is secured with you. Week 6 is how do we maintain multisensory methods online. I used a virtual letterboard, guys, okay? And I learned very quickly that you can bring 50 S's down. And my client, Noe, who went to Paris for the summer in 2019, showed me that. When we did a virtual letterboard, he brought 50 S's instead of just 2. It might not have been 50. I might be exaggerating, but it's definitely more than 2. I wouldn't say the word appalled. However, I don't believe in all of the tech companies that have come in, just like they did into our schools, and decide they can do things better than what we do as practitioners. And actually some dyslexia, some sites that actually train practitioners do this. And some of you might be like, well, that's easier for a teacher, but it might not be as engaging for a student. And from a parent perspective, slides and websites and all that, that's their nightmare, and it's a passive activity. It's not making them feel comforted about their investment in you. And so when people say, how do your clients get high-level families, how your clients get premium families, it starts with becoming an elite online expert. It starts with making sure a parent knows that you have their child, you're going to be doing engaging games and movement, which is week 7 after week 6, okay? And week 6 will include how to use the document, camera, all the good things so that you can just reach and teach, and everything that you've been schlepping and everything that maybe you stole from the school or everything that's in your drawers that you can bring online. And then week 8, you get your certification. We celebrate. Maybe I see a little bit of your setup to make sure it's all good. And that's it. It's an 8-week. There you go. So by the end of October, oh wow, look, November's coming. Couple things are happening in November. We got parent conferences. More people need you. We have the winter rolling in if you are someone in those winter states where you have more sneezes, more coughs, more cold weather, more snow, more reason not to lug your stuff around. And then the other part of it is we can all expect that the winter season, November, December, brings more money out. Whether it's money out because you're celebrating a holiday, whether it's money out because, oh my goodness, I'm planning a vacation because I was able to do that. I'm able to save that money. So by November, you're an elite online expert. Then we could potentially move into business together if we are a good fit to work together. And you could come into the business class where people are learning how to secure clients, talk to clients, but that's a different conversation. If you want to start, we actually have bonus business classes right now. If you join before September 1st, we do have bonus business classes. It's $9.97 to be part of this crew, okay? And I would love to give you these skills and really show you a new level of freedom where you can go to the bathroom, or a freedom where you can pack it up, take it to an Airbnb, hang out with your family for 2 weeks, or take an Airbnb and go to Europe and find some fresh vegetables that are not making us sick. Anyway, my friends, if you want to be part of this, it is 8 weeks certification. We're meeting on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. I do understand teachers, you need the night hours, so I get that. And then we're doing some bonus walk and talk biz Q&A sessions all through September and October for anyone who secures their spot before September 1st. So I'm going to include the link, which is in the show notes. It's on the show notes because I'm not doing a podcast. Because podcasts are too complicated to plan. And I've already been live 3 times today. It's just so fun. Just come here and I talk to you guys. Whoever wants to stay on, stays on. Whoever's watching from behind the scenes in secret, I'll get an email or I'll get a text. And ironically, it will come at the same time that I'm online because they're not brave enough to show their face. And that's all good. It might even be a family member that's like, Michelle, are you okay? You just talked on the video for like 1 hour by yourself. But anyways, I'm good, guys. And again, I've been helping teachers. I'm Michelle. In case you don't know me, you're like, who is this person? I'm Michelle. I'm from Read Rewire. I started my second company, Rewire for Dyslexia, this year, which we are actually giving our first scholarship away next week for the Pay It Forward scholarship, which gets someone to be an elite online expert in exchange for actually volunteering. That scholarship is closed now, and this is an opportunity that I would love for you guys to hop in on so that you get the skills. You're set up for November, right when that holiday season comes or the winter season comes. You need the freedom to be in your home. And, even if this means transitioning clients to online, there's ways to do that. I've worked with people that have gotten their clients to transition to online. I've worked with people that have started fresh and they've never had an online business. I've worked with people that want to do this as a side gig until they get out of teaching. I've worked with people that are retired and want to go be with their grandchildren, but also want to keep the joy of reading. And I've worked with people that want to build this out into a massive business. So wherever you are in this journey, this is step 1. Let's get you online. Let's get you in the room. Let's get you to be with other women that want to do this as well, and break it down and have fun and learn the behavior strategies, learn all that stuff. And I think I've talked enough, and I'm going to go rush my dog out. He's going to block walk. He doesn't know it yet. And then I will be like this the rest of the night until this flipping headache goes away. And thank you guys for whoever's listening behind the scenes. And I'm going to send this out to the email list right now, because I think that with a lot of email comes a lot of disconnect, and comes a lot of words written by other people. And I personally hate email. Clearly, this is my preferred way to communicate. And this is your preferred way if you're working with a family. This is what they want to see. They want to see someone who's ready to engage. They want to see someone who has the skills. They want to see someone who can get online with ease, make it really fun for their child, and then that's where your freedom comes from. So if you're ready to choose freedom, you're ready to choose you, I would love to welcome you into the Academy, get you to be an elite online expert. And this is your way to, like, honestly, it's my only time I've ever done this. Like, I just started doing this because of, honestly, the economic shift, as well as standing behind my mission of reaching and teaching our 1 in 5 while helping teachers reclaim their wellness, get rid of anxiety, get rid of stress, and you're allowed to make money from your home. That shouldn't feel bad for you. You shouldn't feel like you have to deliver services like DoorDash. So this is a new opportunity to hop into our room for $9.97. And if you want the whole business experience, we can talk about that as well. And I will talk to you. Bye, guys.